Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue with the group's dynamic tarot readings. So today is going to be Monsta X turn. So we're going to see a bit about them. So I placed all the cards and also the names on top of it because like I want to remember each member energy exactly, since I do not know, like I do not remember like intuitively, like I'm just learning their names. So this is why I have their names out here, these name tags. I probably will be doing this also for all of them, even though I know the names, because it's easier for me to associate a card. And you can do it too. If you can look at it, you can do it too. So let's start with the first member that I have here, that it's Hyungwon. He got the card of the Nine of Swords. So yes, I believe that he's a Capricorn with a moon in Pisces, so I can definitely see the moon in Pisces here. There's a bit of because the Nine of Swords, it's just like you see in the picture, just like you see in the card. It's like a long journey with a lot of ups and downs. You know, the Nine of Swords is like, you know, when you reach that point where you sometimes like had been struggling to maintain a certain energy or certain humor, a certain attitude, you know, up to try to. But I have the feeling that he is a bit melancholic. Like there's something about his energy that I sense that it's not only that he is very sensitive, but also that he is a bit of the pessimist kind, you know. Probably is this mixture of Capricorn energy that is very heavy and the Pisces, you know. It's this like very different energies, but at the same time it feels like like very low, like very like down energy, you know. Like I don't know what he's going through right now, but what he's showing me that he brings to the dynamic of the group is probably that he had been struggling with a lot of doubts, a lot of negative thinking, or probably him like doubting himself a lot. Probably he is someone that worries a lot about what other people are going to think. And I think that this also has to do with him being really sensitive inside and probably not being able to talk to someone in the group about it, or probably like trying to hide it from the other members, because I see like a sense of, you know, this card is called the card of despair. So there's a sense of, you know, feeling like hopeless, like you've been like almost like ready to give up, but like you hanging on anyways, you know, like, but not feeling your best, you know. So I don't know his history, I don't know where he comes from, I don't know his background, but it seems like he's the kind of he is the melancholic guy. There's something about him like very like it's like, it seems like he's so sensitive that he just, whenever someone is down or someone has like a harsh day, or they receive some kind of criticism or like a feedback that is not that positive, he just is too harsh on himself, you know. Probably he doesn't take criticism really well and he just feels really bad about himself, you know. Probably he needs to work on this. And also because I want to address this, that one of the people that requested me to do this dynamic reading for Monsta X, actually she was also like asking me if it was possible to include Wonho. But actually, you know, I cannot include Wonho, because Monsta X had been, I don't know how long, but I know that they had been functioning still without Wonho. So if we're going to talk about Monsta X dynamic as a group, we cannot include Wonho because Wonho is no longer with Monsta X working as a group. You know, they can still have like an emotional bond, they can still see each other and probably talk to each other, but they are not working on he's not part of the group's dynamic, even though I can see here that there's a bit of influence of him leaving. You know, obviously he did make an impact on the group when he was part of the group and when he left, but nevertheless, here we're talking about the dynamic of Monta X today. So it wouldn't be fair for the other members to be like, okay, let's include Wonho when actually Wonho is not working to keep Monsta X dynamic. You know, he's not part. So, you know, so this is why I didn't include him. This doesn't mean that he's not important. He is, obviously, but we're talking about a group that is active, you know, and that is like working nowadays under this name. And in this name, there are 6 members. So, and I mentioned this because I have the feeling that somehow Hyun Won is showing me that this sense of despair probably comes from Wonho leaving the group. I don't know what kind of relationship they had, if they were close or not, but probably he is the one that with these sensitive feelings or with this sensitivity of him, probably he did experience a bit of despair or a bit of heartache or a bit of feeling a bit negative or a bit like not so sure about whether they would be still able to make it without Wonho. So I can see him like very affected by this, and he is making it be like he's bringing it to awareness here in the group. This is what he's bringing to the group. You know, probably he's the one that talks about the despair or talks about the struggles that some of the other members maybe are like on another level. You know, they are on another they have other perspective about what happened or about how this affects the group. So in the case of Hyungwon, I see him like him being struggling for so long with some I wouldn't say depressive thinking, but probably like him feeling a bit like nostalgic. Let's move on to IM. IM got the Hermit. So yes, he is one of the, I think it's 2 members that got the major arcana. So he is the first one and he got the Hermit. And I know I read for IM, I believe. He is an Aquarius with the moon in Aries that I think that I mentioned a lot. Him being a moon in Aries, him being a bit like, he's someone that is not easy to get to know because he does seem like, I think I said something like about him being like, him having this body language that it seems like he is going to punch you in the face. Like, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that opens up easily. He seems like a tough guy, you know, maybe just on the exterior. We're not talking that he is like this. But here with the Hermit, like, I'm not surprised he got the Hermit, actually. Because actually what is showing me here is that what he brings to the group dynamic is totally Hermetism, in the sense that probably he is the hardest to talk to, in the sense that you cannot get him to open up right away. Or probably he is the one member that doesn't say anything, like he just like remains in this posture, you know, where he's a bit inflexible. And that he is a bit on the denial when it comes to sharing how he really feels. Definitely he does have, because the Hermit talks about a lot of inner work and you going inwards to get to know yourself. And that this is a very intimate and personal and individual journey. So probably for him, actually what he brings to the group is the fact that whatever is going on with him personally, like the others are not going to hear about it, or that probably he's going to put some resistance about talking about how he really feels. The hermit is someone that holds a lot of wisdom within themselves. He can probably, even though he doesn't open up, he can probably be very, hold a lot of wisdom, and also he can be like having like a lot of inspiration, and him being really good at bringing ideas, or probably like writing lyrics, or like in an artistic sense. I think that him being a hermit actually allows him to connect with his gifts, you know, with his talents. But I think that what is showing me here when it comes to how this affects the group is his hermetism, you know. In I think that sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable maybe for the rest of the members to get close to him. Probably they would want him to open up a bit more, and he would just not be interested, you know. He seems to be, at least he will still be for a while in this very close off, you know, posture. I can even see him, like I can even picture him myself being like crossed arms, you know, like him being like not interested into opening up. So there's a reason actually why he is in this posture. Maybe something happened in the past where he felt like he was misunderstood when he expressed something. So now he is in this hermit mode where he refuses to let out his true feelings or how he really feels, because he didn't felt like supported back then. So I don't know what happened. But definitely there's a wound here. There's a reason why he is so cold and why he keeps everyone so at distance, you know. So yes, this is what he brings to the group. Then let's move on to Minhyuk. Minhyuk, he got the 10 of Pentacles. So Minhyuk, I don't think I have read for him, or maybe I have and I don't remember. He is a Scorpio with the moon in Gemini. And I don't know what's going on with Minhyuk, but he looks like he's very successful. So I don't know what is he working on, because it seems like whatever he does, it translates to success. So yes, he got the card of the 10 of Pentacles. That is the card of success. So there's nothing much I can say here. Actually, he seems to be achieving a lot in his life. And I think that this is not only about career. I think that this is about his life in general. Probably he had been like, does he come from a wealthy family or something like that? Because I believe that he already has like a business of his own. So there's a sense of optimism in him. You know, he's like, you know, he's the first one that brings the pentacles, the coins here. So, you know, the other two, the first two that I read, bring a bit of darkness, you know, a bit of deepness, a bit of, you know, like very like emotional and intimate inner world. And here comes Minhyuk with a bag full of coins. So I don't know what is he working on or what he had accomplished in the past, but it seems like he does pretty well for himself. And it seems also that there's something about networking as well, that he's really successful. So what he brings to the group is success. But I think that it's not that he brings to the group success. I think that is his energy. It seems like he is very successful himself. So he irradiates this sort of confidence, you know, this sort of like him really trusting in his own resources and in what he's capable of doing. So he's like really happy. He's the one that just sits there with a bright smile, you know, like, oh, I made it. Like, you know, he doesn't have a lot of like remorseful feelings or anything. He's just happy, you know, he's just content with everything he had accomplished. So I don't know what it is. Maybe fans can help me figure out what it is exactly, but it seems like it's business related. Or maybe it's about his talent. Maybe he had recorded some very talented songs that I do not know about. I don't know. So then let's move on to Shanu. Yonu actually he got the card of the star. So here we go again with another he's the other guy that got a major arcana, but in his case he got the major arcana of the star. So the major arcana of the star is someone that was destined to be a celebrity, to shine, to be a star. So he is a Gemini with the moon in Capricorn. So even though emotionally maybe he's not that expressive, actually what he brings to the group is stardom, is star quality. Probably there's something about his posture, there's something about his body language, or there's something about the way he behaves that he just gives off this celebrity, like kind of it seems like he's very comfortable like being part of the industry, and it's like he knows what he has to do to be like acknowledged. And at the same time, probably he does have like a good reputation. There's something like it seems like he's very hardworking, and it seems like he's very professional. So probably wherever he goes, it seems like this star quality follows him. He does shine bright, and he shines in a very particular way that makes him stood up from the rest. And it seems like he has this very welcoming also energy that despite of him also being having struggles of himself, him having also doubts and insecurities like we all do, what he brings to the group is to remember the group that they are stars, and that they have they have the star quality, and that actually if he is able to shine for the group, all the members can shine as well. That he reminds them all to shine, to not forget everything that they had worked hard for. I think that some of them are very, like I mentioned, they have this very nostalgic kind of quality, a bit pessimist, so they are like, okay, yes, what we were back then or what we had in the past, they are always looking back, at things that you cannot control anymore. So I think that what Shonu is actually showing here with this star card is that they can still like have these opportunities and this pride in who they are, being proud of who they are, and really like trusting themselves, like do not look down, do not look away, like look at people in the eye. There's nothing to be ashamed of, like there's no reason for them to hide that actually they are a great group, and that they are very hardworking, and that they deserve everything that they have. I think that he's like very influential, he's very optimistic as well, and it's not easy for him, like, because I'm like, yes, he's a Gemini, but his moon in Capricorn sometimes can make him seem like a bit rigid in his character, maybe not so emotional, but actually he takes good care of his members, and he just wants all of them to own their power, to own their influences, to not feel like they are not worth of everything that they had accomplished. So yes, then let's move on to Juhon. Juhon or Juhoni, is it? Because I got two names, but I put the one that I saw because I believe that his correct name is Juhon, but maybe there's a nickname for him that is Juhoni. Is it possible? And he is a double Libra, and he got the card of the Four of Wands. So he's also someone that is very joyful. He's someone that is like, okay, maybe if some of them are starting to be bringing like a positive speech or a positive feedback for the others to lift up the mood or lift up other people's confidence. Johun is also the one that also with his energy and with his light energy and with his confidence, he's also like a cheerleader in the group. Probably because he's a double Libra, so he does have this sort of passion, about who he is and about him being famous. That it seems like he's also really good at networking. So it's like he does have a good memory, and he knows that that they have done well, that they have like they need to be able to appreciate more. I feel that there are members that definitely struggle more with, like I mentioned before, like owning their path, their trajectory. There are some that probably feel a bit empty. So here comes Johun, actually, like also reminding them that they are the perfect group, like the seven, the six of them, that they are enough, that they are together because they are meant to be, and that it's okay, that it's enough. Like probably, like I mentioned before, like all the groups that somehow lose a member or a member is absent, it's not easy for them to recover actually and to connect with their identity or the image of a group, especially if they have like a very strong emotional bond with the one who left or with the one that is no longer. So, but in the case of Juhun, or Juhun, he is really like a strong believer that actually the ones that remain are enough. That they are enough, that they don't need anything else, that they complete each other, that they are meant to be together, and that they will make it. So he's very optimistic as well. I like his energy. And then the last one is Kishoon. I believe I read for Kishoon. Isn't he the one that it's BTS Suga friend or acquaintance? I think that I have read for them. Yes, because he is a Scorpio sun with the moon in Pisces, so he is the one. And Kihyun got the Eight of Pentacles. So Kihyun it's also someone that got the Pentacles, but he's not that successful like the other Scorpio. Like the Scorpio like Minhyuk already has the bag. He already has the coins. In the case of Kihyun, he wants the bag as well. He wants the money. He wants the prestige, but he's working on the details. He is still working on the details. Probably he's also interested in some kind of business because there are pentacles here, but he's working really hard on the details. So probably he's working on some project that I don't know what is it about, but I know it's going to be successful, because he is a bit also of a, I wouldn't say workaholic, but he is very into details. So probably he's asking advice for others, and he's like, okay, I need to work on this. He's like the eternal apprentice. He always wants to know more. He always wants to investigate more. He really likes to go through that process. And what he brings to the group is actually this: he's very hardworking. And he's also very like inventive in the sense that he reinvents himself every chance that he gets. Probably he's very studious, or he has the ability to absorb a lot of knowledge or different skills, and it seems like he's really interested in self-improvement. So this is very meaningful actually, because you know that he has water placements. He is a Scorpio sun, he is a Pisces moon, so he can be probably the one that is the most emotional here and is not afraid to show it. It's very different from Hyunwon, that it was the first one that I read for, but he is a Capricorn, even though he also has a moon in Pisces. So the way of them dealing with the waves of emotions coming into their lives is very different, because maybe for Hyunwon it's really hard to actually accept that he is this sensitive, especially in a work environment. And for Kim Hyun, actually, it's like, okay, yes, this is what I am. And actually, I think that in the case of Ki Hyun, he found a way to actually put his sensitivity or his vulnerability to work. So probably he finds this, him being really sensitive or emotional, he uses for his advantage, and he also uses to create music, or to be like a more like to bring more deepness to his performances or to his talents. So this is what actually he's like, okay, I have this in me, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to refine this, and I'm going to make money out of this. Like there's something about money here that is very obvious. And he definitely is someone that also works. He works for results. You know, he's not like, even though he's very emotional, like I mentioned, his head is not in the clouds. He's very rational in the sense that he wants to see the results, he wants to see the material gain. So, yes, this is all I have for them. So, I hope that you enjoyed it if you're fans of Monsta X, and I would love to hear from you because, as you know, I'm starting to read for them. I'm not familiar with their energy, and well, this is a new series that I made up in the process. I want to know how you feel about this, since you are their fans and you probably know their trajectory, their journey, everything that they went through. So I would love to, if you could educate me a bit about their history. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.